hopefully.
Okay. All right.
Test.
Yep. Testing, testing. All good? My name is Matthew Almont, and my major is cinema studies, and I'm in the film and video production minor.
Why that major and minor?
Because I've always been interested in film, always loved watching movies, always wanted to make movies, and I I transferred here about a year ago, and rather than going into the full 4 years of the film conservatory, I thought it would be good to take advantage of the cinema studies program and the film minor, which had just been introduced.
Why did you not want to major in the film major itself?
Oh, well, yeah, that was because it's rather than like going the 4 year program, the 4 year conservatory, I thought it would just be better to. I transferred here after going to community college for 2 years, and rather than spend another 4 years at college, I'd rather just spend the next 2 years um, in the cinema studies program.
What's cinema studies?
Cinema studies is basically, studying cinema. It's just learning about movies, like the history of them, how they're made, the style, the content, the genres, the filmmakers, the writers. It's a lot of stuff, honestly, but it's just basically going through the history of cinema and exploring the major movements and ideas explored in cinema and how the directors achieved them. Yeah, it's mostly just watching and analyzing movies and writing and discussing about them. It's not like the film minors where I get the hands-on stuff. There's been some short stuff and stuff for classes that I've had to do, but I'm working on like writing stuff, and I always have ideas, But other than that, not much.
So what's your script about?
My script, it's about. It's set in 1999 in Woodstock, New York, and it's about this. It's like a coming-of-age story, and it's about this kid who he's like lonely, and he's kind of like he's kind of not sure what he wants to do with the rest of his life. He's a high school student, and he meets a new teacher who was like a hippie in the 60s and 70s, and now he's like reformed, and he's like has a job and everything, and these two guys kind of have like a interesting bond, and they bond over that, and they kind of help each other grow in different ways. I think it's going to be really interesting.
Do you like the film minor?
I do, yeah. Like I said, it's kind of given me the chance to have a taste of the film major without having to spend the 4 years and all the. I have friends in the conservatory, and it seems to be kind of difficult. So I kind of get to avoid most of that while still getting to do some interesting work. So that's definitely a perk, I feel.
For the films that you made, which is your favorite and why?
Wow. I did a documentary for a documentary class that it was about misconnections, and I got the inspiration from another class I was taking at the time. And there was definitely some stuff that I could have done better, like some of the lighting and sound is pretty bad, and like reenactments or whatever. But I think that was a really interesting experience. It was kind of my first time making a documentary, and I think it got a good response, and I think overall it's pretty effective, and I got to hear some interesting stories and share those stories. So that was pretty cool. My first experience like telling other people's stories rather than like something that I had come up with.
What film that you made that you don't like and wish you could have went back and made it better?
So there was a film I made last semester that involved a character's quest to get some snacks, and it was a comedy, and it was a lot of fun. It's very goofy, but I feel like it's a little slapdash, a little put together at parts. I feel like I should have taken a little more time with it. I feel like it's a little too thrown together, but it's it's funny, but it's nothing like special.
For anyone who aspires to do either film or anything in the arts, what would you say to them?
Wow. Well, I think I'll say advice that, I kind of have to tell myself every now and then, because I think something I kind of need to hear, which is that, you shouldn't be afraid to put yourself out there, to expose your vulnerabilities. And you shouldn't be afraid to just try, to just do it, And that can be easier said than done. But, like, the feeling of, like, making something or writing something or whatever it may be, painting something, and having it finished and displayed for the world to see, and that's a great feeling. And you should always think that your voice is worth hearing, that the world should hear your voice, because if you don't, then, what's the point?
Okay. Anything else you want to say before we finish?
I mean, not really, just like, thanks for interviewing me, I guess. This is pretty cool.
Well, you're welcome. We're done.
All right.
Thank you
Awesome.
for your time.